Monday, week 15. I'm just packing my bag to head into the hospital. It's about 1:30, so I've just had lunch. Went to the gym this morning because today I have a late day. I have placement from 6 to 10 p.m. I'm gonna go in for a few hours before my shift, smash out some lectures, and then go on my placement, which is still in the emergency department. I only have 3 weeks left on ED, which I'm really sad about because it's been such a fun department. So I'm going to try to maximize on the opportunities I have there. I had a pretty good weekend. I went and saw some of my friends from high school on Friday night, which was really fun. And then Saturday, Sunday, I just chilled, edited a video, watched Lego Masters, and so I'm ready to now have a productive week. I just finished up in a rheumatology clinic. Editing Ashima here, just clarifying why I'm at a rheumatology clinic. As part of our emergency rotation, we also get to go to outpatients clinics. So we get to go to appointments for people who aren't admitted as hospital patients. They're like specialist appointments. Basically, med school is like a Kentucky tour of all the different medical specialties that there are. I am so tired. I kept yawning through the whole appointment. Thank God for masks sometimes. I had an ED shift last night till 10 p.m. Then I went home and had dinner. And now I was doing my shoot in the car at 8 o'clock because I had placement at 9. So it's been quite a jam-packed 36 hours. My ED shift was really good. I had some really quite funny coaching from one of the registrars who are on ED, because I rocked up and I was sort of timidly loitering around the hubs. This is what the emergency department looks like when we rock up, but way, way busier. So the central hub area is where all of the doctors and nurses are, and everyone looks very busy, a lot of people on the phone, and it is so intimidating to walk into that area and find someone who's free enough to talk to you and take you under their wing. And then I was finally like, hey, looking for someone to talk to, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, you need to come into ED and you need to dominate. I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, you need to just like ask the consultants and then tell them that you need to shadow someone. And I was like nervously laughing because I was like, oh, I don't really know how to do that. That sounds kind of uncomfortable. And they it was just very funny. That guy over there is a consultant. Get over there and invade his space. But you know what? It actually worked as well. So I'm going to continue to space invade. Thank you for the advice, registrar who I don't know the name of. It was a very good ED shift in that it was a good balance of me finding a doctor to follow around and to watch how they do it, but then splitting off from them and then doing my own histories and my own exams as well. So it felt very balanced. If it's just one of those things, if I'm just taking back-to-back histories, I find it very hard to learn. And if I'm just following someone around the whole time, I'm not practicing my own skills. So it was a really good mix. This morning's shoot was about, it was a reflection shoot. So I was running our ethical practice shoot. It's basically just a class discussion about any ethical things that have come up. What I talked about was just my breast exam experience a few weeks ago because I hadn't discussed it in like a formal class setting. Today I had my first and only rheumatology clinic. I was sitting in with the consultant and she was lovely. She was very, very nice. Saw some patients with fibromyalgia, saw some people with psoriatic arthritis, so people with psoriasis can have an arthritis associated with that, and also some people with arthritis that may or may not be associated with their ulcerative colitis gastro disease. I wasn't quite sure and I don't think they got an answer to that. I have an ED shift now. I am really sleepy though, so I'm trying to toss up between having a nap or having a coffee. I think I might try to have a nap for like 20 minutes if I can, and then head to the hospital to do my ED shift. I also banged through a lot of lectures yesterday, so I'm feeling quite good. I feel like I've achieved a lot and it's only Tuesday. I do this thing that if I feel like I'm going to get nervous about something, instead of saying that I am nervous or anxious, I say that I'm excited and channel all of my energy into being excited instead. And I made the definitive decision to do that on Wednesday morning because it was dawning on me how soon our Oskies were. So check out how many times I say I'm excited over the next few minutes. Wednesday morning. Today's going to be a really good day. I'm actually really excited. I have a shoot this morning for rheumatology just on Zoom, and then after that I have a suturing workshop, and then after that I have ED. So I'm excited because I've never sutured before, and I'm excited to learn how to do it, and it should be a really fun practical activity. I'm excited to go and do my placement today as well. I'm feeling very energized today. I had a really good sleep and a really good meal. So I'm feeling full of energy and excited to get into the hospital. I'm feeling pretty excited that our OSCEs are coming up because that means that we are so much closer to the middle of the year, and then it will officially be only 2.5 years until we're done with medicine. I'm quite excited to start working as a doctor. So looking forward to that being even closer. I need to vow to myself not to go to the common room, because when I do that, I get stuck there of my own accord. For like last night I was there for an hour and I was just so unproductive. And I've done that a couple of times this week. So from now until my exams, I'm not going to go to the common room. I'm only going to go to the library or the ward or to the cafe to get a coffee. So I don't waste time while I'm here, because I don't study at home, so I really need to make sure that I'm efficient when I'm here. For the first 15-20 minutes of our workshop, we learnt about the different kinds of sutures there are. There are some that are dissolving and some that are non-dissolving, and they all serve different purposes. Generally, if it's an internal stitch that you can't remove later, you might use a dissolving stitch. But then, for example, something like a prosthetic heart valve, something that you want to stay in there, you wouldn't use a dissolving stitch for that. You would use a non-dissolving stitch. For sutures on the skin, you can use a non-dissolving stitch and then you can pull it out later. So that you don't accidentally poke yourself with the needle, you use these two gripping tong things to manipulate the needle through the skin. As you can see, it is quite a knack to it. The type of stitch that we were learning how to do is called a simple interrupted stitch. So every stitch you place, you tie 4 knots, and then you cut the suture and then you start again. So each suture stands on its own. This is so that if one of the sutures accidentally comes out, it's fine. The whole wound won't be exposed. It'll just be that one stitch. I actually feel like I had a super good day today. I feel so happy. I got my cannula paperwork signed off, which was hanging over my head for a long time, but I've done it. I've got it signed off. Yeah, I'm just feeling really good. I feel so proud of myself. I did such a variety of activities today. I took a patient's history. I saw a patient who had deep vein thrombosis, and I learned how to physically examine someone with DVT because I've never done that before. And I'm just feeling really accomplished. I wrote out a list of all the things. Oh, I can just show you. There's nothing like a productive day to make me feel whole again and happy. I feel like my former normal self. I was worried about myself for the last few weeks. I just looked so miserable. And I was watching back the footage that I'd filmed, and I was like, who is this girl? Like, why is she so sad? And like, I don't know, it just really, I don't know. It annoyed me how sad I was, but now I'm feeling way better. I feel good about the OSCEs. I am accepting that they are happening. I'm not going to stress about it. I've been practicing every day, so you know, what else can I do? I forgot to say that yesterday I went to my parents' house and I was practicing some exams on my sister and my mum. And it was so interesting because I was doing the lower limb neurological exam on my mum, who has polio. So she actually has findings in her legs. It was just so cool to be able to isolate that and actually think about what was going on with her leg, because I knew she had like issues with her leg my whole life, but I just didn't know what they were. So it was really awesome to get to examine her. I was so excited to do that. This is my list of all of the things that I have to do by the end of semester that I can get a start on now and start ticking off so I feel good about myself and my life. This is just things that I have to submit. This is not including my exams or my OSCEs or anything like that. But I have just completed my cannula form, big tick, feeling pretty good about that one. And I only have these things to go. I tried to do one of these. A mini CEX is this form that we have to fill out. And basically we just find a doctor who's on the ward, or for me, that's ED. And then we have to get them to watch us do a history or an exam. And then they give us some feedback on the spot. It's like a non-exam condition OSCE. I have to get 2 in the next couple of weeks, haven't got any. I need to find my long case for the long case assessment. I have to write out my long case for the long case assessment, big task. I need to do this thing called an electronic health record as my second one. That is basically teaching us how to write up someone's admissions when they come into hospital. So we do an admissions for a patient, a form, and then someone checks it and sees we're doing it right. Shouldn't take too long. Have these 2 mini assignments as well. One is a reflection for my professional practice class, and then we have a First Nations health task as well. So my plan for this evening is to try to start on one of these, or maybe even no, maybe not this one. Maybe I'll make a start on both of these and write like, I don't know, 100 or 200 words. So at least they're on the way, and then I'll feel very good. While I'm here with my planner, this is what this week has looked like. So it is week 15 total, but it's week 6 of our rotating term, 6 of 8, 15 of 36 for the year. So then what is today? Today I had the suturing workshop, room tutorial, and then ED. Tomorrow, I'm so looking forward to tomorrow because I've only got 1 class and no placement. And I just live for those days that I can spend in the library and not be distracted. So I'm really, really excited to just have a full day at the library. Turns out that I can't find any of the assignments that I wanted to get started on. I don't know if they haven't released them yet or I just can't find them, but I will take that as my sign to move on. And I'm just gonna listen to a lecture, and then I'm gonna go home, gonna have some dinner, and then have a big rest for my big day at the library tomorrow. I thought I was gonna have a late start today, and I thought I was gonna be able to go to the gym in the morning before going to class. But then I looked at my timetable and the lecture that I thought was online is not online. It's in person at 8:30. So now I have to rush to get dressed to get to the hospital. And it's just really fucking with my plans right now, isn't it? So this morning we have a it's not really an official lecture, it's an info session about our OSCEs, because these are our first set of actual OSCEs, because we had some at school last year, but it was all over Zoom. So, and this year it was touch and go at the start of the year as well. Like, are we going to have OSCEs in real life? Are we going to have them over Zoom again? Like, what's the COVID situation going to be? So this is when they're going to tell us how that's going to run this year. So I'll be very surprised if that's not the case. I just had a lecture about what to do with an agitated patient, if there's an agitated patient at the hospital. And it was kind of a scary one because they were talking about how many people you need to restrain an agitated patient and what drugs you can use to chemically restrain a patient. And I was like, wow, this is actually kind of hectic. I don't want to do that, but that's crazy that there's a whole lecture about this.
About 4 weeks ago, he presented to the GP for an asymptomatic ankle swelling, which I'll talk about later, which he was put on some diuretics for. And so that was 4 weeks ago, and he's on long-term warfarin due to an aortic valve replacement in 1992, which I'll also talk about later.
We finished off the week getting to hear Kit's outstanding long case presentation that he did for the class. After his 12-minute presentation, our teacher does question time with him, and then we give him feedback for what we thought was great about his presentation and where we thought he could also improve. Our exam in the next few weeks is exactly like this, minus the other students. So it's just us and an examiner, and we're going to present our long case to them. For now, we can select any patient from a hospital to do our long case on, and it's not double checked or anything like that. But our end of the year assessment, there is a patient who the school has selected. The doctors at the university will do a long case on that patient, and then we do ours on the same patient, and then they see if we were able to extrapolate the same information that they did. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, it would be excellent if you can like, comment and subscribe, as it really helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and that really helps to motivate me to continue making content. And I will see you next week.